That's my orphan calf over there. He's not great big, but I don't know, I may be able to wean him. So I got these weaner calves in here, and I'm gonna feed them every day for a week or two. And I'm having trouble. Today's just day 2. Today's Tuesday. I'm having trouble getting them to realize what the feed is. So I brought my little feed bunk over here, set it here where I knew they would find it, because this is where they were hanging out trying to get back to their moms. You can see there, some of them are like, hey, I want some feed. So now that they know what that is, I'm gonna pick it back up. I'm gonna drag it over here closer to the pens, and I'll see if they'll find it again. I'll try to work them in there and then put it over on the fence where it actually goes. So let me get this before they eat it all. All right, let's see if they figure that out. I'm just gonna stand over here on this side of them. It's right over there. That one's got it. They're all still looking like, where'd it go? That was delicious. Come on, guys, go find it. It's right there. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Maybe I can push them a little bit. Come on, guys. Go get that feed. It's still over there for you. Come on. That one's figuring it out. 137. 236. Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. Oh, they're eating without you, aren't they? Alright, we'll give them just a little bit now that they've found that. And then I'll take it a little bit further. And see if we can get them all the way in the pens here in a minute. 30 seems to kind of figured it out. He keeps following me. But they're all going to go back now. So, that didn't really work. It's over there for them. Hopefully they find it. They'll find it eventually. The problem is it's going to rain tonight and all day tomorrow. So if they don't get a date before it rains, it's just going to turn into mush. So, I don't know. They ate about half of that first one. I've got 2 of them set up over here. See them on the fence? Right there. So I'm hoping if I do it like that, it'll keep them up off the ground. If you guys remember, these are the same little bunks that I had made that cut number 70's foot. So I'm hoping keeping them up against a fence like that, and if I can keep them on the fence, I don't know if they're going to stay up there. Once they start eating on them and pushing on them, they might fall down, but try to just keep them up here on the fence though. What I can do, or could do, is bring some screws out and put right here, and right there, and that'll keep them from sliding out. So I may go do that real quick. So, like I said, they ate about half of this one. They got a whole nother one. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to go grab some screws to put in there just to try to keep these up on the fence. And who knows, maybe by the time I get back, they'll have found it. So, show you here in a minute. So that's the bunk I fed them in yesterday. One of them brave enough to venture in there. Back away from me real quick. Well, I'm gonna sit here and watch them for a minute and see if they find their way in. I may still be too close. Obviously, there's some of them eating on that hay bale over there. Some of them found the water. I bet they're gonna find it all right though. That one's already in there looking. Oh, here comes another one. Get on in there, guys. Yeah, go over to that fence. I know that's where you want it to be, isn't it? Ain't nothing in there though, guys. Gotta go over to them new ones. We got another one coming in. Yeah, there we go. Cha-ching. Jackpot. Figured it out. Alright, I bet once the other ones start to see them eating on it, they're all going to figure it out pretty quick here. Yeah, 43 over here. She's just having fun with that hay bale. Alright, cool. Let's see. So we got 37, 43 are still in the catch pen. This one there is being slow to come up. It's alright though. At least he's in there with them. And I think that's 36 on the other side of the hay bale. Oops. Over here. Alright. Well, that's progress. I think this one that's not going in is probably 29. Yeah. Get on in there, little guy. Alright, well, I'm going to watch him here for just a little bit more, but we'll call that relative success for right now. Hopefully the mother ones will get in there with him and figure it out. I may try to go around from this side and kind of get them to go in there with their friends. I'd like for them all to find that. The idea here, it's not necessarily that they need the extra feed. I mean, they do. It's not going to hurt them or anything. But mostly I'm just trying to train them right now. So I want them to know that whenever I show up, there's going to be food over here. And it's in the pens. That way, if I need to get them in the pens, I can just bring a little bit of feed, dump it in there, and hopefully they'll come right in and I can do whatever it is I need to do. Whether one of them's sick or lame or something weird going on. That's the idea anyway. Just trying to train them mostly. That it's a good thing to go in there when I show up. So, it wasn't 36. Going for some water. Alright. Like I said, I'm going to watch them for a little bit more. I decided to go ahead and push them all in here, so just stand here at the gate, kind of hold them in here, see if they all go figure it out. Just close this gate behind me. I'll open this back up for them, of course. When I was putting the grease zerks in my gate, I missed this one. It's still kind of noisy, so I need to get out here and put a grease zert in that one. 29. Go get some food, bud. What do you think? Don't you want some? It's yummy. It's got molasses in it. They're not going to let him in, are they? Well, that's not very nice. You have to fight to get in there, bud. Come on. Come on, dude. I don't know, am I stressing you out? Alright. 29 there may need to go back out with the herd. Watch them again tomorrow and see what's going on, but not wanting to eat that feed. Not being aggressive at all, getting in there. May not be old enough. Alright. See you guys tomorrow. So this one right here, number 4. That was my orphan calf. I've got him caught. Now, obviously he's smaller than the others. I hadn't meant to wean him, but since his mom's dead, I'm gonna have to. So, what I did is I just rode out here to get a look at him, and I noticed the whole herd was following me around while I was riding around in the 4-wheeler. And so I just parked it right there. He followed me right in, closed the gate behind him. Quickly, took 5 minutes, got him sorted off. Worked out really good. So, my neighbor and I were just talking about how we were going to get him in here. And I was saying I'm probably going to need some extra help, just some extra legs out here to push him around. But that worked perfectly. So, very cool. So that's done. Been a little bit anxious about that. Glad to have him in here with me. So, alright, well, now I have 10 weaner calves. Now, earlier when they were eating, it was a little bit too crowded with just those 2 bunks. So I've got this other one over here. That's some sort of a, it's like a missile container that they got a hold of somehow. They left a few of those out here for me. Here's one. That's what it looks like. So you can see missile or bomb or whatever used to be in here. I don't think it was a missile. I think it was just a bomb. But that's what these used to hold. Make perfectly good feed bunks. A lot of these are rotted out pretty bad. And that's why they left them for me. Because they didn't want them because they were rotted out. That one over there is the best one of those that I have. And so anyway, I'll line it up with these other two over here. We'll spread their feet out between 3 bunks tomorrow. And that should give them plenty of room to get in there and eat. They're all upset with me right now. Alright. Now these two pieces of pin here, I'm going to leave them open too. That way they can keep the grass ate down in here. The calves cannot get in the alley. So one of the problems my neighbor pointed out is that if the mama cow stands right next to a gate like this, she can kind of back up right next to it, and then the calf can actually nurse through the gate. So they're not going to be able to get into this pen, so the calves are separated from them here. They're separated here by the alley. But I'm going to leave these gates open, like I said though, and they'll keep all this Bermuda grass ate down for me. So, alright. Well, now we'll be back tomorrow. See you guys then. Day 3 of weaning. They were in here waiting on me. As soon as I put the food out, they went to work on it. Number 4 here, this is my orphan calf, remember? He doesn't seem to know what the food is yet. He ain't figured it out. Try, he should in time. All the other ones though. One over there figured it out first. That's number 24. He went and found that one on the fence. These guys, I spread it out between 3 bunks because it looked like 2, it was getting kind of crowded for him. There you go, number 4. Get in there. Yeah, buddy. Got a good deal going on, don't you? It's not so bad, is it? And here's number 29 that's walking away. Also not just super interested in the feed, but it's alright, they'll figure it out. So I had the water turned off this whole time. It's been raining a whole lot, so no big deal. The trough has stayed full. I had a problem though with that float. My pressure's too high. We have about 120 psi out here. I do anyway. And so this is a pressure reducing valve. I've got it valved off up there at my camper though, because there's a frost free over there that leaks a little bit. So since this wasn't working anyway, I went ahead and turned it off. Well, I forgot to turn it back on up there, so I can't turn this on yet. I got to run up there and turn that back on, and then I come back out here, turn this on, and hopefully this is going to work and my float valve is going to work, and then I'll know that they have good water out here. So, alright. They're all eating and happy. That's good. Of course, they're all upset that I'm not feeding them. But, alright. So I'm going to run, turn the water back on, and we'll make sure that float valve's working correctly. And, yeah. Go from there. And we'll have a good constant water supply for them. Keep feeding them. It's a nice sight right there. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so this seems to be working. Open this. Good water flow. Shuts off correctly. Perfect. So, now that my pressure's reduced, I probably need to take my little jimmy rig thing off of there. Should have thought of that. I was just at the camper. I could have grabbed my impact gun and reinstall it up on top the way it's supposed to be. It should work now. Yep, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go get my impact gun. I'll be back again. For the record, right now we're giving them about 2 pounds a day. I'll increase that probably to 3 pounds per head, that is. So 2 pounds per head per day. Tomorrow I'll probably go ahead and do 3 pounds per head. And we may go up a little bit more after that. I just want to make sure they're eating it all. And I'll cap them off at 5 pounds per head per day, which actually would be convenient because there's 10 of them. So that would make 50 pounds And of course the feed comes in 50-pound bags, so 1 bag a day. Cost about $8, something like that. So $8 a day. Keep them nice and healthy and happy. Worth it in my book. So, in light of recent events, I think what I'm going to do is get another one of these water troughs, and let's go this way. Over here, I think what I can do is probably right here in the middle. I'm going to cut the bottom 3 sucker rods off, and I'll center a tank in there, and then I'll build up, pipe fence all around it. But I'll have another water tank centered up, and I may go ahead and bury a line. I'll find one of these other ones, bury a line, and then go ahead and plumb it in with a float. And then that will give me water on both sides of that fence, right? And so what we'll have is basically I'll have half the water trough in this pen, half of it in this pen, and then that way when I'm working cows, they'll always have water. I'll have that float just with a valve on it, and I think that's what I should do. And I may build up some pipe fence kind of inside of it, that way they can't try to go through. I don't know if they would try that, but they might, crazy critters. So I think in the future we're going to try that. So I got to get another one of these water troughs. I'll have to get another float, of course, and then we'll have to run that line. So not a huge deal, but just in case, because even if it's not super hot, it's really stressful on the animals to not have water, and obviously they can die if they don't have water and it's hot and it gets hot. So I think that'll be a good idea just for their well-being and my peace of mind. I think that's what we're going to do. And then I've thought about over here cutting into the fence basically where this one's at, cutting that panel out of there, cutting the bottom strap out, and then tucking this in so that they can get to it if they're in the alley. And then that would have a float on it as well. So then anytime I was out here working them, I could just turn on that frost free over there. I'll turn on the valve to the one that's in the middle over this way. And then there will be water out here in the catch pen. There'll be water in the alley and water in both pens. And I can do that with 2 tanks, I think. So, I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. But for sure, I want to try and get another one to put over there. So we might work on that this weekend. Run up to Muskogee, get another water trough. Hold. Looks like my float's going to work. It's about to shut off. So that's excellent. Just need a reducer. Now let's talk about that for a minute. Now I bought this at a local store, or well, the float, but this reducer I bought it just at a local hardware store. This is what's called a static reducer, and this one's not adjustable. Okay, so now I saw some reviews on Amazon. You can buy something just like this, and I thought about buying it on Amazon, but then I decided before I did to go ahead and check my just local hardware stores, and they had one just like what I was looking at on Amazon. I'd read some of the reviews on it though, and somebody was complaining that this did not produce the pressure that it advertised. So this says 50 to 70 psi is what it's going to output. But here's the way these work though. That's just a spring in there, and the spring preload on that determines how high the pressure has to be in order to overcome it. And so on these that are non-adjustable like this, they're already preset. You can't change that. And so the output pressure is not actually determined by whatever the box says. It's determined by whatever the input pressure is. So just because it says 50 to 70, if you have, 120, maybe you're closer to 70. If you only have like 70 or 80 though to start with, you put that on there. It's not necessarily going to do that, because what this basically does is it just decreases your pressure by a percentage, not actually by a known value. So if you if you need a pressure regulator and you want a certain output pressure, you need to buy one that's adjustable, that you can then adjust and have a gauge on it so that you can actually adjust what your output pressure is. If you just get one like this, it's not going to do that for you. And if you're needing a specific pressure or wanting a specific pressure, you're going to be disappointed, because this is basically, it's going to be based off of whatever the input pressure is, right? So if you think about that, there's basically a piston inside there, and you have the K value of the spring, and so then you have a certain amount of force that's pushing on it this way. It is going to reduce that force that's seen on the other side, right? Because pressure, that's pounds per square inch, so let's just say it was 1 square inch worth of piston in there. Well, if you have 120 psi on it versus 70 psi, then that's a different amount of force that's actually pushing on that spring, and so that's going to determine how it regulates that pressure. Does that make sense? And so if you're going to buy one of these for an RV or something like that, just keep that in mind. You buy something simple, cheap, and easy like this, it may work for you, but it may end up actually reducing your pressure to something that's not usable. It may reduce it down to like 30 psi or 20 psi or something like that, and it's not going to be what you want. So keep that in mind in regards to pressure reducing valves. So just a thought. All right, guys. Guys, look like you're doing good. Got all that ate down. It's yummy, isn't it? Just rub your face on that one's butt. Makes sense. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow as well.